You've probably walked right past it. It's sitting on a Walmart shelf, most of it priced under $15, a lot of it under $6, in plain little packages that don't shout for your attention. And while you weren't looking, that brand quietly turned into one of the biggest success stories in the entire beauty industry, outgrowing, outselling, and outmarketing prestige brands that charge you 5 and 10 times more at the Sephora counter. The brand is e.l.f., and once you understand how it pulled this off, you're gonna look at that expensive makeup bag of yours a little differently. So here's what you're going to get in the next few minutes. You're going to learn exactly how a budget Walmart shelf brand quietly started beating the luxury giants, the strategy behind it, the products that made it explode, and what it actually means for how you should be spending your own money. And stick around to the end, because I'm going to be honest with you about the things prestige still does better, so you walk away knowing precisely when to save and when it's still worth it to spend. Let's start with the part nobody saw coming. For years, you were taught a simple story. Expensive makeup is good makeup, and cheap makeup is what you settle for. e.l.f. quietly tore that story apart. The name literally stands for knees, lips, face, and the whole idea from the beginning was radical. Give people genuinely good makeup at a price that feels almost too low to be real. While the prestige brands were busy justifying $40 foundations, this brand was building a whole kingdom out of products you could buy for the price of a sandwich. And here's the thing you need to sit with. Cheap was never the same as bad. They just refused to charge you for the myth. Now, let's talk about how it actually started winning, because the strategy is genuinely clever, and it tells you something about the whole industry. The first move was the dupe game, and they mastered it. You know that viral luxury primer everyone swears by? There's a version for a fraction of the price. That cult $30-something glowy complexion product, there's one that does nearly the same thing for around $14. e.l.f. got very, very good at studying what made an expensive product go viral and then delivering that same effect at a price you didn't have to think twice about. And when you can get 90% of the result for 20% of the cost, the math stops making sense for the expensive one. You weren't being cheap by switching, you were being smart. The second move was how they talk to you, and this is where they truly left the old guard behind. While legacy brands were still buying glossy magazine ads, e.l.f. went all in on social media and TikTok, where their actual customers already lived. They made content that was fun, fast, and didn't take itself too seriously. They jumped on trends instead of pretending to be above them. They even leaned into music and viral moments in a way that made the brand feel like a friend, rather than a counter you felt intimidated walking up to. You didn't feel sold to. You felt let in on a secret. The third move was speed. The traditional prestige model is slow. A product can take a year or more to go from idea to shelf. e.l.f. learned to move fast, watching what was trending and getting a version into your hands while the trend was still hot, at a price that let you actually try it instead of saving up for it. So while you were on a wait list for the expensive viral thing, the affordable version was already in your cart. That speed, paired with that price, is a combination the luxury counters genuinely struggled to answer. And here's the result of all of it. This little Walmart shelf brand became one of the fastest growing names in beauty. A genuine Wall Street darling, the kind of brand that posts growth numbers quarter after quarter while parts of the prestige world were shrinking. It climbed to the top of the mass makeup world and started showing up on most loved brand lists that used to belong to names with 4 times the price tag. You were watching a real changing of the guard, and most people didn't even notice it happening because it happened on a quiet shelf next to the groceries. So what does all of this actually mean for you, standing there deciding where to spend? It means the assumption you have been carrying around, that the Sephora bag is automatically the better makeup, is no longer safe. For a huge range of products, the budget brand is not the compromise. It is the answer. The primers, the complexion products, the brushes, the everyday basics. This is exactly the territory where an affordable, fast-moving brand can match the expensive one. Because the formulas are not secret and the technology is shared across the industry. When you reach for the prestige version of those, a big chunk of what you are paying for is the bag, the store, and the name. It also means your makeup bag does not have to be a status symbol to be a good one. The whole power move here is not only ever buy cheap, it is that you get to stop letting the price tag make the decision for you. You can mix. You can put a $6 primer under a foundation you love and feel zero guilt, because the $6 primer is genuinely doing its job. That freedom to buy on performance instead of on prestige is the real thing this brand handed you. Now, I promised you honesty, so here's the other side, because it matters and you deserve the full picture before you swap everything out. Prestige still wins in a few real places. Some complex high-performance products, certain long-wear complexion formulas, very specific finishes, some treatment skincare hybrids are genuinely areas where the expensive lab work can still show up on your face. Shade ranges at the high end are sometimes deeper and more carefully balanced, especially in the very lightest and very deepest tones, though the budget world has closed a lot of that gap. And then there's the experience itself. The Sephora trip, the in-person shade matching, the testing, the way certain packaging feels in your hand. That experience is real, and if you value it, that's a completely legitimate reason to spend. You're just allowed to know that's what you're paying for. So, let's bring this home. The story of the Walmart brand quietly beating Sephora was never really about one company winning. It's about a myth losing. The myth that price is the same as quality and beauty. A brand sitting on a discount shelf, charging you a few dollars, proved that you can get the look, the performance, and the fun without the markup. And it grew into a giant doing exactly that. The takeaway for you isn't to swear off the Sephora counter forever. It's to walk in there and walk down that Walmart aisle as someone who finally knows the difference between paying for a product and paying for a name. So tell me down below, have you already made the switch? And what's the one affordable product that genuinely replaced something expensive in your routine? Drop it in the comments. And if this changed how you'll shop your next makeup run, you already know what to do.